Hello? 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 There we go. How you doing?
Hi.
That's good. How you been?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Good.
Hey, mommy. Oh, Miss Lyla. Miss Lyla.
Miss Dupree.
You got company. That big head one is calling. Did she got a dog with her today?
Yes.
Oh, so here she is. Look, it's me. Hey, mommy. Hey, how you doing? It's me, Jimmy.
I'm going to step up, Mr. James.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're looking pretty today. How you doing? Oh, there's a big pretty smile. It's me, Jimmy. You see me? Oh, thank you. It's good to hear your voice. What's that doll baby doing? Your hair looks nice today. You're looking pretty. You see Miss Maya was there? Wow. Can you see me? Mommy. Today is Friday. And you had another good week at the hospital, so soon I'll be able to come and see you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to Miss Lyla. Say, Ma, where's the baby? I don't see the baby. Are you sleepy today? Can I see the baby? You still got that box of Miss Debbie's in the background. Is that somebody? Who's that talking? Is that? Say, Ma. Mommy. You gonna look up?
Mommy.
Are you gonna let me see you today? You must be sleepy today, a little bit tired. No, it's Friday. Did you see the Tootie and Diane and Rachel? And did you see Marshall? Did you see Sharon this week? I hope you got a chance to see everybody. So we get to see you 3 times a week now, so that helps a whole lot. The people are very nice at FutureCare. But I think they're going to let us, some of us come to see you soon, so I'm hoping I can come and see you. Maybe in a couple of days I'll be up and I'll bring you something. It would be nice to see you, but you got to look up. I can't see you right now. Can you hear me? Mom? Miss Lyla? You gonna let me see the baby? Hey, Mom. Miss Lyla? It's me, Jimmy. Look up. You see me? I'm right in front of you. Look at the box. You see me? Are you sleepy? Oh, you're entitled to get some rest. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to see this big ugly face either. And I'm right in the camera today. You look pretty though, and your skin looks clear. I just wish I could see the baby. There you go. You can let me see the baby. You see me? Can you see me? Okay, it's me, Jimmy. Can I see your baby? Where's your baby? You got a pretty baby with you? There's your smile. I see you. There you go. So you see me. If today is Friday, your eyes are just as bright and pretty and clear. Where's the baby? I can't see the baby. Did you kiss the baby for me? Let me see the baby. Somebody coming in? Somebody in the room? It's mighty quiet. The TV's not on today. And your roommate's pretty quiet today, too. Everybody's quiet today. Who's that just came in? You're not going to say? So what's the baby doing? You playing with the baby? You give the baby a kiss today? Well, I'm trying to think of who I can talk to you about today. We talked about Miss Hazel before. And we talked about your friend, Miss Thelma. So I'm trying to think of else. You remember Ray and Pee Wee that lived next door to us on Eden Street? You remember Ray? And remember Pee Wee? And the boy named Winston that lived on the other side of us when we lived on Eden Street? And we used to come out of the house and had the pretty park right across the street. And you had me and Sharon, and then Diane was born while we lived on Eden Street. Remember Uncle Daniel used to drive a cab? Your brother Daniel used to drive the cab. And we got in his cab and we went over to Rutland Avenue to Sinai and we picked Diane up and brought her home. And we lived on 1006 Eden Street. And one of your friends came by, had this little bad little boy. This little boy scratched Diane. And it was the first fight I ever was in. I was 3 years old when I beat a boy up. Scratched Diane. I was only 3. But it seemed like I was older in my mind. But he didn't scratch Diane anymore. And that woman took that boy and took him home. You remember that? But he scratched Diane. I tore him up. Yeah. And so look at your dad. You see me. So I remember that was on Eden Street. Sometimes our Pearl would come by and we would walk around on Brentwood Avenue. And sometimes Aunt Lillian and Henry would come around. But they lived off of Brentwood Avenue. And I would go home with them. And as soon as I would get there, y'all would let me leave. I would tell you I want to go home with them. As soon as we got in the house, I would start crying. I want to go home. I want to go home. And they have to bring me back. But I used to worry them all the time. I was a bad little boy, wasn't I? I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I got that from either you or I got that from Dad. But I know it was a bad little boy. But yeah. We lived at 1006 Eden Street. Then we moved back to Washington Street for a little while. And then we moved. But I remember before Eden Street, I remember we lived on Ashland Avenue and Barnes Street on the second floor. Because one day, Uncle Braxton was babysitting me. I remember he had to change my diaper. That's a terrible long memory, isn't it? I have a memory that long that I remember that. Yeah. That having my diaper changed. I remember some other things too, but I remember on Eden Street, remember Dot and Papa lived over top of us. And I used to go upstairs, and you wouldn't come upstairs to get me. You would make Dad come to get me, not get a beating for being up in them people's apartment when you told me not to get off the steps. But I was a knucklehead, so what can I say? But I do remember that. And it was funny. It's funny now. It wasn't funny getting a beating, but it was funny running upstairs and playing with our children. And we had a party line telephone, and you couldn't talk on the telephone because those children, the doc would be on the phone, and you'd be trying to make a call and couldn't make a call. Yeah. And then after we came back to Washington Street for a little while, and then we moved on Lafayette Avenue, and that's when Dad had that red truck, and used to send me across the street to the little store. There was a little corner store right across the little street from us, and I would get honey dips, and I'd get you a pack of a 5-cent pack of Wilkins coffee, because you used to like Wilkins coffee. You remember Wilkins coffee? If I would get that Wilkins coffee for you. And I remember one day, Dad brought all these doors home, and remember we had a brick wall, and him and Jap, remember Jap, his buddy named Jap, him and Jap got all those doors off the truck and put the doors in the backyard. Then they nailed all the doors together, and he told you to go get some rags or something. You went and got some towels and some rags. They put them rags around the doors, and then we had a blow up little horsey in the closet. You went and got the horsey and blew it up, and it put me outside in my underwear, and you put me inside doors, and Dad tried to make a swimming pool. It didn't work. It didn't work. It was not a good idea, but he meant well. So we put the hose on, and I sat on the ground with the hose. It was hot outside. So I sat there with the hose on and trying to have fun. I mean, you can have a little bit of fun. By the time that happened, I was about 4. That's the same time that we went up to Sears and saw Santa Claus. So he took me, Sharon, and Diane, and we went up to Sears on North Avenue. And I knew that was the real Santa Claus. You couldn't tell me. And I was waiting in that line, and I was so happy. When I got up there and I told him what little stuff I wanted, I don't remember it too much. I think I wanted a truck or a toy car or something. And I was just excited to be there. So I was happy, and I think Sharon was kind of shy, and Diane was kind of mad. I don't know what she was mad about, but she was kind of mad. Remember that? Diane was up to be the mad baby. So she was kind of mad. But I wish I could find those pictures. I remember that day just like it was yesterday. And that's when Miss Geneva would come around sometimes, and we would duck inside the house. But we used to sit out on the front steps. It was a nice neighborhood. It was a nice block. And we stayed there for a while. But then Dad and Grandmama was fixing up the house on Washington Street. So we ended back on Washington Street. But we did have a good time on Lafayette, and that's when I got lost. Me and Sharon got lost one time going to another store, and we were standing on the corner of Broadway and Lafayette Avenue, and I was standing there crying because I didn't know which way to go, and then Dad came down the street and got us, so it was okay. We were almost home, but it just came a little bit further. I'd have made it, but I made a bad turn and couldn't figure out how to get back. Yeah. So you remember that a little bit, don't you? Yeah. I remember some of the stories you used to tell me, though, about when you were a little girl. I remember one of your friends, that you were a real close friend of yours, ate a whole bunch of grapes. And then she got sick and she died. And we never did figure out what happened with that. And I remember one time you were down the alley and a horse got loose. A horse chased you up the alley and chased you into the house. I bet you, do you remember that? That's when you were a little girl. And another time you were in a store and a great big black dog was outside the store and it chased you home. You told me those when I was a little boy. I never forgot those things you told me about. Yeah. And then you went to Coppin. When you got bigger, you went to Coppin State Teachers College because you were going to be a teacher. And you had a good time while you were there. And then the next thing you got married. And I'm the knucklehead that was born. Yeah. But we had a good time on Washington Street. Our sister lived around the corner. Aunt Racine lived down at the corner. Aunt Lynn lived across the street down at the corner. Uncle Cleveland used to come around. He would be in the basement sometimes. But Uncle Braxton came around. Uncle Jewett came around a lot. We saw Aunt Pearl a lot. She used to come around a whole lot. Aunt Carrie used to come around. So we had a lot of visitors. Dean would come around. Vernell would come around. Do you remember Dean? That was Braxton, your brother Braxton's wife. And she had baby C, and she's had April. And they used to come around the house. And then remember, Vernell used to come around the house all the time. He used to want to dance, be in the house dancing. We'd be doing a Madison. We'd be doing a line dance. He said, when I say hit it, I want everybody to do the camel walk. You knew all those dances. Remember, you told me how to do the cha-cha-cha. Do you remember? I remember that. You told me how to do the cha-cha-cha. We used to be doing the tit twist. Chubby Checker would be on TV. Buddy Dean. We'd be dancing. We used to dance every day in our house. When we were little, every day we had music. We had a real nice high five. Remember that? We had a nice high five, so we would be dancing all the time. Yeah, so we had good music, and you bring home different records. You always had the latest records, and then Aunt Pearl knew what the latest good music was too. So we had good music. And then here come Braxton one day, your brother Braxton with his group. He wanted to start a band, and he wanted Dad to be the manager. Remember, they thought they was going to be famous. And next thing you know, we had 100 people in the house every day in the basement. They had a whole band in the basement playing music, and the group would be singing and practicing and dancing, and all of the neighborhood would be out on the front in front of the house listening to our house. Remember that? The Satisfactions. They had that one record, and they were on Buddy Dean for a minute. So everybody thought they were going to be famous. And then they got jealous Uncle Braxton. They didn't. Charles Carrington wanted to be the lead singer. They were fighting who was going to be the lead singer. Remember when they went to take their pictures, and right before they went to take their pictures, Uncle Braxton cut all of his hair off. You remember how that was crazy, wasn't it? He cut all of his hair off. And he had nice, really nice hair. Like everybody had, all those guys had processes where they had to get their hair straightened. And Uncle Braxton didn't have to do that. His hair was already straight. So all he had to do, look at you. All he had to do, but he cut it all off so you couldn't even tell. It was funny. He cut his hair off like that. Yeah, the Satisfactions. So this is Nisi. I'm going to grab my phone for a second. Hey, honey. I'm FaceTiming mine. Hello? Denise. They call that butt dialing, where the phone, like if she hit the button by mistake, she might have called me by mistake, and she went to the store. So yeah, so I'm trying to think what else did we do. Remember, we would go down to the lunch. We used to go down to the lunch wagon. Sometimes, like when Uncle Cleveland would come by the house, we would go next door to Mr. Alnora's house and get Mr. Tom. Get in Mr. Tom's car, and Mr. Tom would take us down to Dad's job. You remember that? We would get in his car. He had an old beat up blue car. I think it was an old Plymouth. We would get in his car and we would go zooming down to the job, the lunch wagon. And then we would come home with Dad. And by then, Uncle Cleveland would be gone, but that's we used to do that. Yeah. I remember one day he was in the house, Uncle Cleveland I'm talking about now, and he was going, what's my name? Puddington. And asked me again, I tell you the same, and I told him, you crazy. And Dad tore me up. I told him he was Uncle Cleveland. I told him he was crazy. That didn't go real good with Dad. And I think it was probably better that he beat me than Uncle Cleveland beat me. So that was something. Yeah. So I remember some days I'd be just sitting in the house every day about after I would get up, well, before I even went to school, I know to look out the window because some days Mama would be walking down the street coming home. She was on her way home from work. And she would catch the 13 bus, but she would knock on the door and come in the house. And I remember that because I would always want to see what was in her pocketbook. And some days she'd have a piece of fruit, and I would worry to death, and you would say, leave Mama alone. And then she would say, that's okay, Lala, let him have it. And she would give me her banana, or she would give me her piece of fruit. And some days, if she didn't have nothing in there, she might have a pack of sugar. I want that. So you know what I was thinking about all them days. Remember, every day we would have candy. Every day, I know Miss Betty over there bored to death with my story, but every day we would have candy. You would send me to the store. We would put together some money. I go up to the store and I buy 20 cents worth of penny candy, or 22 cents worth of penny candy, or 11 cents worth of penny candy. But I have a bag full of candy, and then we would all get it, and everybody would be waiting. We would all eat that candy. Well, I understand now that all that sugar just drove us crazy. So I don't think anybody knew that was what was going on. But if we got real, if now that I think about it, that we were jumping around and chasing each other around, it was probably because that sugar had us all hyped up. But we had every day we would look forward to that little bit of candy. But if we were good, you would say, go get some. You would send me to go get some candy. Some days I would get those coconut cookies. They were 2 for a penny, and I go get them. Uh-oh, you got company? Somebody just walked in. Uh-oh.
It's all right. Hi.
Hi there.
Hi,
Is
how
it
are you?
pretty good? Is that my mother's friend that brings my grandmother's picture to her sometimes?
Yes.
Yes, Miss Jenny?
My name's Millie. I'm from the activity department.
Miss Millie, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
You met me before. I'm the one that brought the picture in.
Oh, okay.
The big tall ugly guy.
No, you're nice. I was just going to say you're a nice, handsome man.
Oh, well, you're too kind. Thank you very much. You're so kind.
You have about 5 more minutes, so go ahead and talk.
Well,
okay?
I do appreciate it. It's good to hear your voice, Miss Millie.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to see
And I
you.
hear and I appreciate everything you do, the attention you give my mother. Really, we can't thank you enough. We love you for the things you do to help her out, and I'm sure she does too.
And we come and take care of your mother. Your mother's taking care of. We visit with your mom. Then we visit with you.
She looks so happy to see you. Look at her, she's just so
Look at that smile.
And, yeah, she's still just as pretty as ever.
Yes, she is. Yeah. She certainly doesn't look her age, you know.
No, she doesn't. So we are blessed that she's still with us, and I'm very lucky because I have her to myself. I have 8 other brothers and sisters.
Oh my word!
And right now, I'm the only one talking to my mother, and I'm the oldest. So you know, I didn't get a chance to spend as much time with her as I'd like to because there was so many other ones that came behind me. I had to kind of grow up fast.
Oh my God!
But I got her right this minute.
Your mother's a saint.
She sure is, and if she had just to raise me, she had to be a saint.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I was a handful. We talked about that earlier. Good thing you weren't in the room to hear me reliving some of the things that we did.
Really? You certainly are a nice looking man.
Well, thank you. But I tried to be helpful as best I could when I was coming up. She actually spoke to me today.
Oh, she did.
Yes, I mean, so she's you know, I just been rambling on telling the stories, and I think a lot of them she may remember.
Oh, that's nice.
So just talk about old times.
Just
just talk about old times, which and the fact that we can still do that. And she and I know things that being the oldest child.
Right.
She told me her own childhood story, so I know things about her when she was a child.
Oh.
She knows everything about me when I was a child.
Well, that's wonderful.
But I got a pretty good long-term memory, so I can tell her about things that I can remember the last time my diaper was changed. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
Oh my God.
I'm 65 years old.
Well, you don't look it.
Well, thank you. I remember, and I don't want to be indelicate, but I remember the last time my mother tried to breastfeed me. It's,
Oh my
I know that sounds crazy, but I can tell you what, where we lived, I know who was in the room because she was telling my father, "Get him off of me, he's biting me."
God. Oh my God.
Yep.
But listen, you want to say goodbye to your son because it's time to go, okay? All right? All right with you?
Mommy, you gotta look at me.
She's laughing.
Yeah.
She's smiling.
Yeah. So, mommy, I love you.
What's your name, sir?
She calls me Jimmy.
Jimmy. Oh, there's Jimmy.
Yeah, I am, mommy.
Miss Dupree, you want to say goodbye to Jimmy?
Yeah, she sees me. I'm gonna wave at me. Bye bye.
You want to wave? Say bye-bye to Jimmy.
I'll see you in a couple of days. Soon, I'm hoping to be able to come up soon and see you.
I hope so. Is it
Right.
ever going to end?
Well, you guys have been zero for a while, so the prayers are being answered. That nobody else is getting sick.
Right.
So that may be soon.
I hope so. Well, it's nice talking to you.
It's a nice,
Jimmy.
Miss Millie. It's nice talking to you too. Really
Always
good.
a pleasure.
And
And
God-
we'll see. You want to say goodbye to Jimmy? Miss Dupree. There's Jimmy. He's waving to
And she looked right up, so I see you.
All right, Jimmy. It's nice
Okay.
seeing
Nice
you.
seeing you
again.
too.
Take care.
God bless you, Miss Millie.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye bye. Bye bye, mommy.
There you go. Did you enjoy that? I can see you smiling.